Folks, we're back. This is Steve Sampson, Jim Jones, another episode of Veterans in Politics. We're going to be expanding to California, and we're going to have Getro Elize. He's the assembly candidate for district number 36 in California, up in Palmdale. But before we get to Getro, Jim.
I don't really have a rant or a PSA or anything. I am extremely thankful for Getro, for you coming in. I mean, driving all the way from California, very, very nice of you to do that. And I think it's interesting because
slot machines. Don't worry.
No, it's just
showgirl.
It's interesting because like California and Nevada, even though as much as Nevada tries to say we're not California, let's be honest. I mean,
it spills over.
Right, exactly. So just thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you guys.
And also thank you for your service.
Thank you for inviting me, Dan. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, Mr. Elize, tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, so born and raised in California. Great place to live, great place to visit. After graduating from high school, I joined the military at 17. I was roped in by a friend who didn't swear in, and I did. So that tells you don't volunteer for anything if somebody isn't going to go. From there, I was out in Fort Sill, Oklahoma for 3 years.
Okay.
1st Battalion, 3rd Battalion, 18th Field Artillery. Okay. After I came back, I went to Howard University, got my degree in finance. From there, I've been working in public and private and healthcare. First public, now private, and I work for Los Angeles County Department of Health Services.
Okay. So what made you want to be an assemblyman? This is your first run for politics?
Actually, this is my second run. I actually ran for 25th district, which is, I surprised myself. I ranked in the top 5. The first time I didn't have any experience.
Top 5 out of 6 people?
No, top 5 out of 14 people. Out of 14 people. What happened was that we had about 16 people that were running. Yeah. And it was in the primary, ranked in the top 5. The only people that beat me out were 2 knowns and one guy that was he was an internet celebrity, and myself. They had one guy that was a former candidate, and one guy that was a former assemblyman, and the guy that won was Mike Garcia. So Mike Garcia won. He put up one hell of a fight, and I talked to him at the time, and he just out-organized us, and he started early. So I got into the race about, I would say 3 to 4 months before the actual election cycle. So he already raised about $400,000 to $500,000, and everybody else was already just trying to get in the race.
$500,000 for an assembly race.
Yeah, $500,000 for an assembly race.
How? And this was District 25 in California, right?
No, that was CA 25. That was at the federal level.
Gotcha.
Yeah, at the federal level. So he just outraised us, and during that time, this is when COVID was starting to happen. So we weren't doing in-person meetings. We weren't knocking on doors. We weren't doing anything like that. We were actually doing Zoom meetings or, sending out mailers or text messages or anything like that. He was ballsy. And he said, no, I'm about to knock on these doors. I'm going to have in-person meetings. And, he became more personable. It showed that he had access. He had access to the voters and everything. And that made a difference. Yeah. So when the time came, he just beat everybody out.
So you're running for Palmdale District 36.
Now I'm running for 36. That's the state assembly.
So what's the population there?
We have about roughly 500,000 people.
500,000.
500,000, yeah.
So in 36, there's 500,000 people?
Roughly 500,000 people.
In District 36, there's 500,000 people?
About 500,000 people, yeah. Because we cover...
That's huge.
That's huge. It's a lot of people. But a lot of it is spread out. We have our main cities are Palmdale and Lancaster. Then we have Acton, Agua Dulce. We have parts of Santa Clarita.
Okay.
We have Mojave, California City, and I think 2 other cities in San Bernardino County, which is Pinion Hills and Wrightwood.
San Bernardino County.
Yes, merging over San
You
Bernardino.
have no beaches, right?
No. I wish we did.
You're all inland. It's all inland.
Yeah, upper inland.
I'm trying to paint a picture for viewers that.
Yeah, we're all upper inland. All upper inland. Once you pass the mountain, keep going north on the 14, you run into Santa Clarita, then Acton, Agua Dulce, Palmdale, then Lancaster.
What is the income, the average income for people that live?
The average income roughly around like $30,000 for people there.
You can survive on 30 G's?
No, you can't. Unfortunately, people take, they call it side jobs and side hustles, which it's just basically a second or third job. So we have a lot of
second and third.
So
if you live in California, you're constantly working.
You constantly, yeah. Everything goes to either housing or healthcare or food, things like that. So you're barely making it.
You're missing something.
Yeah.
Property tax.
Yeah, we have property tax, but that's if you're a homeowner, and if you're lucky to be a homeowner in California.
So if I wanted to get a 3-bedroom house, 1,500 square feet, which is not really big.
Yeah.
What average price am I looking at?
Geez, right about now we're looking about $2,400
a month.
A month, yeah, $2,400 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, $2,400 a month.
Let me ask you something about you, California.
He's gonna pick on you because he picks on his son Josh all the time about
you California people, okay? Okay, you're always in front of me on the damn freeway for one, which I really don't like. You guys don't know how to drive when it's rainy. That's damn sure.
We don't.
Okay. I'm a New Yorker, okay? So when it rain, pours, sleet, hail, thunderstorm, we're doing 80.
Yeah.
We don't slow down. Somebody dying in the middle of the road, we just keep going. There's no looky-loos in New York. We don't care. That's your business.
California, they're going to
California, the accident is over on the northbound, you're in the southbound, and you slow in the southbound because you're looking at the northbound. Just mind your own business and keep going. I got somewhere to go. But besides that, Getro, you guys sell. If you're a homeowner, you sell your house.
Yeah.
You come here to Nevada.
Yeah.
And you buy a house cash because what you got for it, you making bank.
Yeah.
You buy it cash, right?
Yeah.
And then you guys, and I ask you guys what, and I say you guys, meaning you California guys.
Yeah.
And I ask you guys, why are you coming here? Oh, well, cost of living is low and you guys have no taxes. But then you're the same people that vote for tax increases here.
No, that's the establishment that votes for tax increases.
I don't understand. You come here with liberal views that you run away from. And then when you run away from liberal views, and then you come here and you turn Nevada liberal.
Okay, so this is what's going on. Okay, so in the state of California, we have to understand what we have. All right, if you want beaches, you got to pay for it. You want roads, you got to pay for it. You want electrical grid, you got to pay for it. You want businesses, you want a place to look nice, you want tourism. That all has to be paid for.
Right.
Why they have taxes so high? It's the people that are at the top of these pet projects. We don't need pet projects. We need people that's actually going to be there and solve solutions for people that are there. Okay? My platform, and I'm a firm believer in this because
the Army's coming out right now.
and I'm a firm believer in this.
You're answering my question before I even asked. So
we need to bring back trade jobs in California, especially in our area, because we have two large defense contractors, Northrop Grumman. And we have Lockheed Martin. And there's some other small defense contractors that are around there. But those are two main employers. They pay very good salaries, mortgage paying jobs. Okay. You're starting off around $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year for a job. You're not taking on all this college debt, which I have, and my wife has about $170,000 worth of college debt. And, thank God I'm working for LA County and they're paying mine. But just imagine what our debt would look like if we just had to pay student loans, let alone that we have to pay for a mortgage, let alone that we have 2 kids, let alone that we have to pay for daycare, let alone that we have to pay for food, And I totally get it. The cost of living in California is high. But we also have to understand it is what you're paying
people
for.
People are running here to escape all those property taxes.
The property taxes are insane. And I get it. I understand it. I fully understand it. Because I'm living with
those business taxes are incredible too.
Yeah. So this is the problem that we're having in California right now. We have businesses right now let me back up a little bit. You've heard about our homeless problem, correct? It's a humanitarian crisis out there.
And we also heard that our past governor, Sandoval, were shipping our homeless to San Francisco, which brought out a lawsuit because San Francisco sued Nevada, like, what are you doing bringing your homeless here? And they end up winning. Or they reached some type of compromise or something like that,
That's unfortunate. But what it says is that we do have a humanitarian crisis on our hands when it comes to homelessness. Because you can't have that many people on the streets. So what happens?
What's the population in Palmdale?
Say again?
What's the homeless population over there?
Oh my God. I don't know off the top of my head. I had the statistics, but I just don't know off the top of my head. But it's pretty high. It's out there. It's visible. It's visible. Yeah. It's right off the freeway. It's when you go to the supermarkets or anything like that. It's highly visible. And how do we tackle that issue? We have to treat it like it's a humanitarian crisis. As in, we have to get these legislators that are in there, and we have to get nonprofits, we have to get LA County supervisors, we have to get people and city council, everyone at the table and say, hey, this is how we're going to have to handle this. Because not only does it disrupt businesses, people aren't going to want to shop there if you have someone that's homeless that's camping out in front of your business. Obviously, they're not going to do that. So what did that do? That hurt businesses. Businesses can't do business. Right. If you have someone that's homeless in front of your business.
So let me ask you this question, because I like a lot of what you said. And I know with being a registered Republican, I don't always vote Republican, but I am a registered Republican, that everybody always tells me, oh, well, just if any tax is a bad tax to you. I'm like, nah, not necessarily. My thing is that, so in the state of California, if you get elected or when you get elected to the assembly, what can you do to drain the swamp, so to speak, to use a term that's been thrown around a lot?
We have to give
because it's like, I agree exactly with what you're saying, is that like we do have to in California, if you want all this stuff, the money's got to come from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But how do we? How in the state of California can it make it more efficient?
Okay. First off, you got to get the guys out of there that's in government. You got to get them out of there because it's the same guys that's hiring their friends. It's cronyism and it's nepotism.
Right.
That's the problem, and I'm pretty sure it's on sides of Republicans. And I definitely can tell you it's on the sides of Democrats. Oh, yeah. And I can tell you we're against the establishment. We don't want anything that has to do with the establishment because this establishment doesn't reflect everyday values of everyday people.
Right.
Okay. They're not talking to me when they say, "Hey, man, you can go ahead and afford that Maserati that you've been wanting for the past 10 years." They're not talking to me. I'm that same old guy that's trying to feed his kids. See if I can save enough money to send them to school, pay their daycare. Trying to make sure that I maintain my job, make sure that my job stays here. Those are the things I'm fighting for.
Yeah.
But going back to what you're saying, I understand. Like, you have to get rid of the people over there that's already doing the job. Right. We have people right now that have been in the assembly. Right now, we have a guy named Tom Lackey. Now, Tom Lackey's been in the assembly for almost like close to a decade now, right? Yeah. But the problem is he keeps going against the same guy. Keeps running against them every.
There's term limits.
Yeah. He's almost termed out, but it's the same guy that keeps running against them. Oh. So what happens? It's like the bully and the weak kid, right?
Right.
The bully beats him out every time. Beats him out every time, right? So when that happens, we continue with the same legislator, so nothing happens.
Right.
We continue in the same cycle, and we have to break that cycle.
So you know what the definition of it is?
Same thing over and over and
expect
over.
A different result.
Expect a different result.
So is there any veterans in the legislature over there in the assembly?
That I know of, I'm not sure. I'm not. I can't.
How many assembly legislators are there?
Should be about like 82, I believe.
82.
Yeah.
That covers the entire state of California.
Entire state of California.
Oh, I figured if a state that large would probably be way more than that.
No.
But you guys have a huge population district.
Yeah. Because constitutionally they broke it up to where as long as it's even if he's representing 500,000, as long as somebody else is representing 500,000.
Yeah. Our congress people don't even represent half of
Yeah, we only have 4, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't really think any of the congress people represent over 500,000 people.
No, well, legally you can't.
An assembly,
yeah.
our assembly over here probably represent maybe 100,000
At day,
each
probably
district.
Yeah, because we cover a lot of area in California. We cover a lot.
How do you do door knocking? Do you?
Right. Yeah. Well,
so we're just trying to figure out the logistics of it.
So I'm gonna give away trade secret, which I know I shouldn't, but you get together with people in other areas. You contact them and say, hey, you know what? This is where I am. This is what I'm about. I'm too far away from your area. So would you mind passing out my information?
I would say, hell no. I need to meet with you personally.
Yeah, but obviously you meet with them. You can meet with them Zoom meeting. You can meet with them in person. You just have to make the time. But you get together with some of these clubs and you say, hey, you know what? This guy's a good guy. You know, he's actually about change and he wants to change the narrative. You know, he wants to bring jobs in this area, which we sorely need. He wants to bring healthcare in our area, which we sorely need. And we also want veterans representation in our area, which we sorely need. And they'll say, okay, let's do that. Bring us your material and we'll pass it out when we do our door knocks for our other candidates. You know, that's how you get your material out
So
there.
you're involved in the party, right?
I'm involved in a way. I'm not deeply rooted in.
What political party are you?
I'm a Democrat.
Okay.
But I'm not like, I'm the establishment Democrat. No, we're not going to do that.
Well, because it doesn't matter. I mean, here's my thing. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Steve. I apologize. But like, that's one of the things that kind of really frustrates me about the political climate right now. And I think both sides are to blame, Republican or Democrat. Like, I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. What I care about is that why is there this huge divide now? Like, Democrats will only speak to other Democrats. Republicans will only speak to other Republicans.
And that's not how you win an office seat. You have to, because this is what happens. If I'm a Democrat and I live in a very purple district, guess what? I have to reach out to Republicans because I'm pretty sure they also care about healthcare. They care about veteran issues. They care about education, especially for their kids. They care about jobs and job security. They care about that too, just the way I care about it. So why does that have to be a Democrat or a Republican issue? You know, no one has a monopoly on that issue. You know, so what I'm saying is that if we can talk to them and say, hey, you know what? I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican, but our issues are the same. I want to make sure that your kid has a good education because guess what? Whatever you believe, my kid goes to that same school as your kid does. You know, we might have the same teacher or we might be part of the same association or same committee.
Common denominator.
Exactly.
Such as veterans, right? Yeah. Because veterans are on both sides of the platform. Yeah. But speaking of veteran, Mr. Elize, tell us about your veteran service.
All right. So I was stationed in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Okay. I was in Field Artillery. Okay. I was there for 3. Yeah. Field Artillery.
Say it the way it is, brother.
yeah.
Field Artillery.
Field Artillery, man.
Complicated words. You were a grunt.
We were grunts.
Okay.
We did the field work. Yeah. During my time in service, man, you meet a bunch of guys from everywhere. You know, and they become
the gals.
Oh yeah, and the gals, you know, and you basically become brothers in arms. It's like your second family. Yeah. You know, literally we still talk.
How long were you in?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years, yeah.
What years?
98 to 01.
Okay.
98 to 01. Right out of high school.
Okay.
Right out of high school.
So you missed the war on terror.
Yeah, I did. Just missed it. So I
they
got
didn't
out.
try to call you back? Were you weren't on inactive ready?
No, they wouldn't even call me back. They didn't even call me back. Which was funny was because I got out in July, the 9/11 happened. Yeah. When I saw 9/11, literally I thought I was watching a movie on TV. I was like, this is a good movie. What is this? And they were just like, no, it's happening live out in New York. So I said to myself, we're gonna be reactivated. I said, if it's go time.
Yeah, because don't you have inactive reserve service like for a few years?
Exactly. But I didn't get a phone call. Nothing happened. So I called.
You were a grunt too. That figure they would have called
you first.
Right back.
Yeah, right. But they didn't do that, which was strange. I called some of my buddies that were still in. I said, you got to keep tabs on them, say, what's going on out there? And he's like, well, our unit's being activated to go overseas. Right. I said, if it's go time, man, let me know. Right. You know, I said, First Sergeant got my information. Do you guys need me to go down to the federal building or anything like that? And they was like, we'll keep in contact with you. Big shout out to First Sergeant McDougal.
You know what it was? There was a huge stream of patriotism. Yeah. A lot of young blood, right out of high school at that particular time, decided to go and serve. So that's probably why they didn't call you.
Yeah, there was a spike or influx.
So
patriotism.
And I'm not going to say being a veteran, what could you bring to the table? I want to know what you are going to do to enhance the lives of the people in your district if you become an assemblyman for that area.
First thing,
what laws are you going to try to activate?
First off, I am for Assembly Bill 1400. That is make sure that everyone has health care. Healthcare is a vital issue. Everyone.
How does that work?
So
illegal immigrants as well, because you guys are in California.
It's like we have sanctuary cities and stuff like that. We have to understand those immigrants that are here.
And that's another thing I wanted to ask about your sanctuary. I can't even say it right because I don't even think it's legal. Your sanctuary cities. How does that even work?
All right.
Isn't that against the federal? Isn't that like against the federal government rules of immigration? And if you have sanctuary cities within the borders, aren't you violating some type of law?
You would actually have to start.
Could I like commit murder and jump on an Indian reservation?
No, murder is murder. You're not gonna do that. But that's on the federal side. That's on the federal side. You actually have to ask someone that's on the federal level about how they access or how they would talk to someone or speak to someone about the immigration status, how they come in contact with somebody with the immigration status, and then what they would do about deportation.
But doesn't your state run these sanctuary cities that the
California
federal government is against?
California does have sanctuary cities. It does have sanctuary cities.
Where are those located? Tip of Palmdale or?
No. You know what? Sanctuary cities in California, it can be anywhere. It can be anywhere because immigrants.
Do you know where they are?
I don't know where they are. I can't name one specifically.
Because I got my guys ready to go.
No, I can't name one specifically, but we have immigrants up and down California because these immigrants that are coming, they're coming for labor. So
I heard they're coming to take back what was rightfully theirs. Well, California belonged to them, and then we took it.
Well, actually, California, the United States actually belongs to Native Americans, but that's another topic. So, but
touche.
But the thing is, immigrants are everywhere in California. You know, how do we deal with that issue?
Everybody's an immigrant,
right? Everyone's. My parents are immigrants. You know, I'm the first generation born here. I'm Haitian. So I know what it's like to be on the outside looking in, you know, even though I'm born here.
And plus you guys share an island with the Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic, yeah. So, you know, my parents came here in 71. But this is the argument people are having when it comes to immigration. You know, it's not like they're saying that we don't want you here. We do want immigrants, you know. But the argument is we want you to come through the front door. Right. You know, that's the argument. That's the argument.
Come through the window.
Yeah, come through the window. Don't go through the back door.
It shut.
Yeah, but we also have to understand that when immigrants do come here, they pay the most in taxes and don't reap the benefits of it. They work jobs that we don't want to work.
Well, you know, and that's true too. But
they're also cheap labor.
And plus, there's a lot that says they don't spend the money here.
They send it back home. They send it back home. So the thing is, those dollars aren't recycled back into the economy. You know, and when those dollars aren't recycled back into the economy, guess what happens? Your taxes go up.
So I know at the assembly level, because it is a federal issue. So at the assembly level, you don't have a lot of control over it. But here's always been my argument when.
But that's not true, because if they're the ones, it's not the federal government that's putting sanctuary cities in that state. It's the state representatives that are putting sanctuary cities.
I mean, that's where I said it becomes kind of a gray area there.
How's the recall going against your governor?
I think in all honesty, he's up against it's a real fight. It's a real fight. Do I think he'll pull out of it? By the skin of his teeth. But
I hate to interrupt you. I got so many questions. My mind are flashing. But I heard that Governor Newsom is related to Nancy Pelosi by in-law. Is that
marriage?
So that is a true statement.
I've read it somewhere. I've read it somewhere.
Isn't that like a conflict somewhere along the line?
That's
nepotism.
Nepotism. Is it borderline nepotism or is it just flat out nepotism?
The only thing that I'm gonna ask real quick is like, what is it with California that like you guys are always trying to recall a governor?
You know what? In California, if they don't like you, they don't like you.
Why don't they educate themselves enough to vote the right person in so they don't have to recall?
You know what? I'm glad you brought that. Why you guys always having fires every year? Jesus Christ! Don't you know the fires come and burn the place, get rid of it, do what those call fire.
There's a Bureau of Land Management, and they're supposed to come out and do the controlled burning. Right. And
controlled burning.
But
what happened?
What happens is that we have so many fires. Yeah. We have so many that we actually start to use prison labor to be firefighters, you know? And the thing is, when those guys get out, they can't become firefighters, even though they've been trained as firefighters.
Well, I think it's more to do with, and I agree with what you're saying to a point, but like the thing that frustrates me is like, every time they try to do a controlled burn and clear out all the dead trees and stuff and create fire breaks, there's so many of them in California, the environmentalists freak out like, oh no, you can't cut this tree down. Well, the damn thing is dead for 20 years.
I've always looked at, so from what I've read and, people.
So it's okay for a wildfire to break out and burn all these homes down, but gosh darn it, don't burn a tree down.
So from what I've read and what I've studied and in environmentalists and stuff like that I spoke with, fires are a natural thing. Right. They clear the earth basically. So when you clear the earth, what happens? Regrowth. Right. Yeah. So obviously you need some kind of control burning, but it also talks about how we're expanding in the areas where there are fires. And people should be aware that, hey, your home could possibly catch fire in this particular area. I'm not going to go and build my house where there's, brush.
I like that. That's
a good point. That hasn't been cleared out for about 100 years.
Right, yeah. Or if you want to buy a home there, then clear the brush out yourself.
Yeah, you can brush it out yourself, you know? Yeah. But we also have to understand that California, when it comes to housing, people like to be in densely populated areas. Right. God knows for why. I don't know why. Yeah. But we do. We do. It's closer to jobs, I guess, closer to friends, family, things like that. But you have to understand what you're going into when you buy this home. Because if I know that this area is prone to having fires, why would I continue to be there? Yeah. It's like people that stay out there in Florida and Louisiana. Right, have their homes blown down by...
I'm glad you brought that up, too.
Homes blown down by hurricanes and, tornadoes, but they continue
to rebuild. But they rebuild in the same place.
Their insurance must be like crazy.
Yeah, crazy high, So, you can take that same point.
Yeah. You get a 30-year loan, they probably have to rebuild the house 15 times already.
So your insurance is pretty high. I'm pretty high. Yeah, I would assume.
I got a lot of questions for you for California, but I'm gonna reserve them for other guests. Okay. But Jim, you have anything else for Elize?
No, honestly, I mean, other than I know I was just teasing you about some stuff, because we all like to make fun of California, even though Nevada.
Who doesn't make fun of California?
Right, but it's a great state. I'm not telling you I don't love to visit there.
California. I like the beach cities like San Clemente, Dana Point.
Then you go down to San Diego.
San Diego. Oh yeah, beautiful. Awesome.
The thing is, like you said before, the cost of living in California is fairly high. Yeah, it's fairly high. Can we do things to bring it down? Of course. Yeah. Of course. You want to bring it down? Build more homes. But
all I'm saying, Getro, is that if you're running away from something in California, don't bring it here.
Hey,
You're running away from it.
I
Leave it
understand.
behind you.
I understand. I understand because people don't want to change.
Don't bring it here.
People don't want to change the local politics. They don't want outsiders changing their local politics, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, adapt to our politics.
Yeah, adapt. Understand the place you move into. Correct. Understand how you guys do things.
So you bought your house with cash. Good for you.
Yeah. Good for you, right? But I would say that, like you said before, if you're going to move somewhere, learn the area, know your neighbors,
and at least do the speed limit when it rains.
and don't watch for accidents.
Yeah, don't be doing no looky-loo thing.
But definitely know your area, know your neighbors, know the schools that you're going to send your kids to. Ask around and know the environment. Know them. It doesn't matter how you vote, where you vote, or something like that. Know the people that know your neighbors. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Know your neighbors. Know how things are done here in your particular city. Because they have it a certain way because they like it like that. Right. And you should respect that. If you have a different perspective to make things better, voice it. But if you want complete and radical change overnight, that's not going to happen. Right. That's not going to happen.
I agree.
Well, Mr. Elize, it was a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Steve. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. My wife said it was supposed to be
I wish you the best of luck in your race for Assembly District 36.
36 Assembly District.
Could you look in the camera and reach out to those Californians because it's going to go viral. Okay. Because we're here in Nevada, that doesn't mean, it's not true what they say what happens in Vegas stays here. That's a lie. Ask the Prince of England when he got caught up in that hotel room. That went worldwide.
That was worldwide.
Ask Kevin Hart.
Yeah, right.
Kevin Hart.
My name is Getro Elize. I'm running for California State Assembly District 36. Check us out at GetroElize.com. You can check us out on Facebook at Getro Elize for Assembly. You can donate, help us out and make sure that we win this district because we need to bring the change that's needed. We also need to bring veteran issues to the forefront and society issues for our friends and families. Thank you.
Spell your website.
It's my name is Getro. Last name Elize, Elize. You can find me at GetroElize.com. Have all my issues, anything you want to check out. If you want to Facebook any information to me, I respond within 10 to 15 minutes.
And when Mr. Elize says the website has all his issues, he's not talking about his personal issues. He's talking about issues that he's going to solve.
Exactly.
you gotta clarify.
Clarify.
Like, whoa, he's got a lot of issues on a website. Well, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thanks, God. I appreciate it.
Folks, that's Getro Elize. He's running for California Assembly District number 36 up in Palmdale, California. Take a look at his website, see if you support him. This is Steve Sampson, Jim Jones for Veterans in Politics. Until next time.